There's always been another thing that I've always wished that I could help with. Our missionaries have to go into other countries. They have to come back for a year and raise up money to go back over and get back on that mission field. All right? Nothing wrong with it, but I always wish that I could start a business or start something that I could put in place for them, that they didn't have to come back. They could keep making a difference wherever they are in the world. And that was a dream that I always had, and I had no idea exactly how to do it. So most of you guys in here are entrepreneurs who started business. There's many of you in here that are pastors, that are business men and women that have given up the business side of that to run the business of the church and to go about God's business. But all of us are entrepreneurs. And what we find is what is our passion? It's starting it and getting it going, right? Isn't it so awesome whenever one actually works, right? And you make that thing happen. When my brother and I and my dad were talking when we first started our first business together, we were sitting around the table. We had spent all our money getting started. We weren't getting any income. We were putting in 7-hour weeks. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Right? But we sit at a table and we said, you know what we would love to do? I wish this business would grow where we could get $50,000 to the church. And I'm not talking about tithing. I'm talking about just for a bit or something the church needed, whether it's a building fund or anything it is. And that might as well have been $2 billion. $50,000 was way out of range. You know, we were trying to find something that was sustainable, that would give us income, but we always wanted to give back. No idea how to do it, but we wanted to see that would work. It was a goal that we had. Well, that business has now been open for 18 years. It's still supporting our family, and family members help run that as one of our businesses and one of our portfolios. And my brother called me 2 years ago. And he said, hey, you remember that conversation we had 16 years ago about wanting to give $50,000 to the church? I said, of course I do. It's one of our long-term goals. He said, well, the last donation of the project that we just did, we just passed $50,000 that we've given to the church. And it was one of the greatest days that I can ever remember. Yeah. Because think about it, that was a dream. Our business worked. Yeah. Our family had sustainable income for 18 years, and we were able to give back to our local church. I called my pastor that day. He called me. We celebrated that day because what is it all about? It's about getting to that point, right? And it was a success. And the failures along the way helped, but it was a success. And so I always dreamed about, man, I want to do it, but what happens when your business starts getting good? Because your entrepreneurial spirit has to kind of shift, right? To grow in your business. Your employees, we get a little bit more employees, right? You got to buy some more trucks. You got to take your insurance bill goes way up, right? Health insurance is a fight every single year. It starts going back to that. I love the startup of it. I love that, but you have to move past that so you can grow your business. So my dream was always to be able, man, I wish I could start something. I wish I could go do more. But I love the businesses that God has blessed me with. I love the business. I was able to come into my wife's family business. Her grandfather started in 1962. I joined that in 2003. And it became All in Thompson. That company has grown 9 times the size it was over the past 15 years. It takes a lot of effort and time in that business. I don't want to give that up, but I still want to do something. So when I heard about ImpactJunkie, the great pitch, just like Shark Tank, probably you guys probably like Shark Tank as much as I do. I wish I could sit in that chair and just buy those companies. I love every second of it. Yeah. But how can I do it? I don't have time for that. I can't go out and find those things. So then we had the great pitch, and I loved every second of the great pitch, watching these brilliant young people, world changers, getting started there. And so then I got to find out more about ImpactJunkie, and I kid you not, it was as if my dream had been written right in front of me on a little bit logo. Because now, there's a company that thinks like I do. There's a company that wants to not only invest in businesses, but they want to make change. They're going to go across the world, wherever it takes to find ventures, vet them, coach them, decide if they're investable. And all I've got to do is go to a website and click and decide if I'm interested in that venture. Maybe that venture's not for me. You don't have to invest. But maybe it's something that you find is a passion that you can invest in. The beauty of it is the scope is very, very large. And I have this passion because I have an opportunity to see some of the ventures that will come down the pipeline. So it's a dream come true for me. I love the opportunity to be able to get this and brought to my doorstep, continue on working in my local church, continue on working in the businesses that God's blessed us with, continue on helping where I'm at, but still changing the world right here from Houston, Texas. Well, Denver, Texas, population 400. Thank you very much. All right. We have more cows than we have people, but they're good-looking cows. All right. But the truth of the matter is that just spoke to me. I couldn't wait to learn more about it, and then Harvey did. And everybody in here was impacted by Harvey. Doesn't matter where you're from, you know how Harvey was, but the beauty of Harvey that came to me is from Jury and Philip came down, and I got to connect with them. And all of a sudden I realized that in this little package right here was what I have been looking for, to stoke those fires, to get me going again, to start something, to be a part of it, small, big, or whatever I can do, and I love it so. But as pastors, as entrepreneurs, business owners, we all know there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? There's no, everything costs money. It costs money to sit in that chair. That chair costs something, right? But the truth of the matter is so there had to be a way to capitalize this. How can I help fund this business to go do this for me and bring this value back to me? And that is where the Angel Network comes into play. And in your folders, I won't go into too much, but in your folders on the right-hand side, the next to last page is the ImpactJunkie Angel Tiers. Okay? So what the Angel does is there's a nonprofit side of ImpactJunkie. You've seen amazing things that the nonprofit side does. It's not just about finding ventures. They're also making change every single where they go. They're using the opportunity of finding ventures to also do something in people's lives. So there's a 501c3 as part of ImpactJunkie that if you're familiar with foundations, and many of you are, if you're into sports, the Longhorn Foundation, the Cougar Foundation, you know, you have to donate to those foundations to get season tickets or what have you. There's foundations for the Cancer Society, different foundations that are on the nonprofit side. So the way they set this up is for a 1-year donation into the nonprofit side, the benefits of that is going to come by all of this that they can bring. All right? So there are 3 tiers of it. And the one at the very top is for those who are really bought in. You feel like I do. This is a dream of yours. And you want to be a part of everything. You want to be a part of coaching. I mean, you want to be a part of going on the trip. You want to help find these things. You want to build from the ground up. You want to see every single business venture that comes through there. There's an Angel VIP Plus for that. It requires an investment of $10,000 for a 1-year investment to get inside of that. But what you get is priority access to their investment opportunity, priority access to all of the scoping trips, VIP access to any ImpactJunkie event, training, and conferences. And there's big plans on those. You get guaranteed access. They go on a trip every month. It's unlimited. You get guaranteed access to go on any one you want. And at this investment level, you get one of them free. You can go on one completely, all expense paid. You get priority access to the Angel Perks, the Facebook group, networking, sponsorships and ImpactJunkie events, impact investing. There's concerts coming down the pipe. Lots of different things are going to change. You can help build your brand right from there. You get the opportunity to be a shark, just like all of you are, at the judging contest, at the pitch competition. Who would love to be a shark? I would like to do it, you know? And you get that opportunity. You get access to the business plans, even if they don't make it through the vetting process. Those that don't make it to you, if you want to see some of the ones that come, and maybe ImpactJunkie didn't feel was investable at the time, you get to take a look at those if you want. There's also going to be an annual Impact Investor meeting in Washington, D.C. that will go through the whole year through what's in the pipe. And if you would like to, we can set it up, or they can set it up where you can meet your senators and congressmen and get involved on the advocacy side. We can help you do that. They're going to put together a pool fund for larger investors where we all kind of come together. Remember how I told you it takes people? Nobody can do it alone. Well, together we can do bigger things. You get access to an Angel Huddle, which is a quarterly updated pitch conference with Brother Jury and Philip. And then this is the big one on this one. If you're in this for 3 consecutive years, which means you've bought into this pretty heavy, then you'll actually have an opportunity for a one-time opportunity to invest in ImpactJunkie as a whole and become a part owner in ImpactJunkie itself. And I've always wanted to be one of those guys that was in on Uber. I've always wanted to be one of those guys that was in on Amazon. And it may not seem like it now, but I believe ImpactJunkie is an avenue that I would like to be a part of all the way through because I truly believe in it. But that may be, that's a lot. I do understand that. That's a big investment. So another is Angel VIP, which starts at $5,000, which gets you priority access in many of these things. So you guys can read through it. I won't go through every single thing you do. But also, this is new. And we're all entrepreneurs, and we don't count our money. Okay? And if you're not sure that it's worth those type of investments, that you can get it as an angel for $1,000, starts at $1,000. What that allows you to do is see these things, see what works, and see if you like it. See if it's something that's worth it to you. See if it's something that you'll fall in love with. And if you don't, you've given money that goes to making an impact, no different than giving a mission, no different than giving a somewhere that will give you an opportunity. Now, I'm pretty excited about the company, as you can tell. I feel like God spoke to me at NAYC whenever, after all this, during the service, they said, be quiet, God is going to speak into your life. And I felt like God sent me back into this field to make things happen. I have a passion for a business that will go into and allow pastors to pastor and give them more sustainable income to help their company with staff and things like that. I have passion for that, so it's got me back into those juices flowing. But another reason that I like it is because I've got to see some of the opportunities. So we're going to give you very short pitches tonight. You guys get to be the sharks. You just don't get to ask questions, all right? But these ventures we're going to bring up here, they're not investable tonight. We're not asking you to invest. We're not asking you to buy into these companies. They're not quite ready for that. But we want you to see some of the opportunity that ImpactJunkie will bring to you. And what I like about what ImpactJunkie does, it's all over spectrum, every different market, all kinds of different things. All right, we have two here that were finalists at the Great Pitch, and they got to be in front of 30,000 people pitching their company. We have another here that's coming from an angel investor. Because another perk of being an angel is if you have a company that you feel can make an impact, you'll have an opportunity to bring that to the angel investor. And the angel investor program is going to grow dramatically. We're going to do some crowdfunding. We're going to do quite a few things that it's going to be fun to be a part of if you want to be a part of that. So first, we're going to let you hear from one that's coming. I'm really proud of this. They're very young team. They flew all the way down to Portland, Oregon, pitched at the Great Pitch. They absolutely incredible. I've got to work with these guys over the past several months. It's absolutely brilliant, and I believe they're about to disrupt a market, and they're about to bring an amazing product to the market. And I want you to see this is the type of thing that ImpactJunkie can bring to you. So our first one up tonight, I want to bring up here Justin Radio, Jonathan Roger, all the way from Portland, Oregon, with a couple of them. You guys come on up. And I want you guys to do what they say. If we can give them a hand. We're very proud of them.